9th standard. Today we will deal with the lesson unit 8 Prose, the storyteller, written by Saki H.H. Mundro. So this is a story, this is a lesson where one bachelor in a railway carriage finds 3 children, and the 3 children were troubling their aunt very much, and that is why she was trying to tell them stories, but her story the children did not like, and instead of a strange story was told by this bachelor who was also traveling in the same carriage, and when they listened to this story they liked the story very much. So in this story told by this bachelor, a girl who was who had very good qualities and was also awarded gold medals, and she was given the honor of visiting the garden of royal garden, that is Prince Garden, and at that moment, due to the clinking sound of her medals, a wolf eats her up. So what does that reveal is sometimes our good qualities also sometimes it is dangerous. So the storytellers tells it like this, and the children likes the story very much. So this is the theme of the lesson. So we will start. Warm up activities there. Children always like journeying, but very soon they get bored. But one cannot stop the journey. One has to engage the children, or else they start disturbing the people around. Think of different ways of engaging the attention of the children for a few minutes and share your thoughts with your friends. See how in the following story an aunt and a bachelor try to pacify the restless children. Find out who is the gifted storyteller here. So we have to find out who is the gifted storyteller in this lesson. So we will start. Para number 1. It was a hot afternoon, and the railway carriage was correspondingly sultry. Sultry means very warm, uncomfortably warm. And the next stop was a Templecombe, nearly an hour ahead. The occupants of the carriage were a small girl and a smaller girl and a small boy. An aunt belonging to the children occupied one corner seat, and the further corner seat on the opposite side was occupied by a bachelor who was a stranger to their party. But the small girls and the small boy emphatically occupied the compartment. Both the aunt and the children were conversational in a limited, persistent way, reminding one of the attention of a housefly that refuses to be discouraged. Most of the aunt's remarks seem to begin with "do not," and nearly all of the children's remarks began with "why." The bachelor said nothing out aloud. So there was a carriage. It was going to Templecombe. The journey was almost 1 hour ahead, and the occupants of the carriage were 3 children. One the small girl, and another was a bit more smaller than that the girl, and one more boy, small boy, and aunt. They were sitting in one corner of the seat, and on the opposite side of the carriage there was a bachelor who was sitting very quietly, and these were restless children. They just were asking questions after questions, and they were troubling the aunt, and aunt was asking them to sit quietly. It was like a bee sound, housefly who is refused. It is compared, the conversation is compared to a housefly that refuses to be discouraged. So the continuous wee sound, like don't do this, don't do that, don't touch that, don't touch this, all these questions, all these instructions, and the children used to ask why we shouldn't do that. Para number 2. Do not, Cyril, do not, explained the aunt, as the small boy began smacking the cushions of the seat. producing a cloud of dust at each other. Come and look out of the window, she added. So one of the small boy was there. His name is Cyril, and he was just trying to smack the cushions of the seat. At that time, the aunt asked him not to do that, and she asked him to come and look out of the window. The child moved reluctantly to the window. Why are those sheep being driven out of that field? He asked. So aunt called the boy to the window, and he reluctantly, very hesitantly went to the window and looked out of the window. And when he saw out of the window, he saw that in the particular field, some sheep were driven out. They were taken out from that field. I expect that are being driven to another field where there is more grass, said the aunt weakly. So what she said, aunt, maybe because in the another field, nearby field, there may be more grass. That is why from this field to that field, the sheep were taken. But there is lots of grass in that field, protested the boy. There is nothing else but grass there. Aunt, there is lots of grass in that field. So he was not ready to accept the answer given by his aunt. He started saying that no, that particular field itself has lots of grass. Still, the sheep are moved from this field to that field. Look at there is only grass and only grass. Perhaps the grass in the other field is better, suggested the aunt furiously. So what she said, maybe that in the other field there may be better grass than this field. That is why they were taken to the other field. Why it is better? Came the swift inevitable question. So again he asked question, why it is better? So they go on asking questions, silly questions. But if we give answers to those questions, they won't be satisfied with those answers. Oh, look at those cows, explained the aunt. Nearly every field along the line had contained cows or bullocks, but she spoke as though she were drawing attention to a rarity. So she was trying to draw their attention so that they shouldn't ask questions. Oh, look at the cows, she explained. Nearly every field along the line had contained cows or bullocks, but she spoke as though she were drawing attention to a rarity. Why is the grass in the other field better? Persisted. So his mind is stuck in that field only and the sheep. So why is that field is better than this field? He is asking the same question. The frown on the bachelor's face was deepening to a scowl. He was hard, an unsympathetic man. The aunt undecided in her mind. She was utterly unable to come to any satisfactory decision about the grass in the other field. So the other person sitting in the same carriage, the bachelor, he was actually disturbed, but these questions, persistent questions, made him very like scowling type, and his nature was discussed here. He was a hard, unsympathetic man. The undecided in her mind. So this is hard and unsympathetic was thought by this aunt, not his nature. That is the actual nature. She thought that this man must be very hard and unsympathetic. She was utterly unable to come to any satisfactory decision about the grass in other field. She was not able to answer the boy what to say, what answer should I give to this boy about the grass in the other field. The smaller girl created a diversion by beginning to recite. On the road to Mandale, she only knew the first line, but she put her limited knowledge to the fullest possible use. She repeated the line over and over again in a dreamy but resolute and very audible voice. It seemed to the bachelor as though someone had a bet with her that she could not repeat the line aloud 2000 times without stopping. Whoever it was who had made the wager was likely to lose his bet. So the other smaller girl was there, also there. She was doing something else there. The diversion was just, she was like singing a song on the road to Mandalay. She knew only one line, and that repeatedly she is saying the same line repeatedly in a rhythmic voice, and she was trying to, whatever knowledge she had about the song, she was doing that. She was repeated in the line over and over again in a dreamy but resolute and very audible voice. The voice was very audible, you can make out. So it was a audible voice, and what bachelor thought at this time was, somebody might have put a bet that she will not stop of this song at least unless she finished 2000 times without stopping, as if she had a bet on someone that she will not stop singing this song without stopping at least 2000 times, and whoever it was who had made the wager was likely to lose his bet. So whoever has made this just a guesswork, just a thinking of a bachelor, whoever has made this betting, he is definitely going to lose, because this girl is not going to stop unless she finishes it more than 2000 times. Come over here and listen to a story, said the aunt. And when the bachelor had looked twice at her and once at a communication cord, the children moved listlessly towards the aunt's end of the carriage. Evidently, her reputation as a storyteller did not rank high in their estimation. So, the aunt calls them, come here, I will tell you the story. At that time, the bachelor looks at her twice, and the children moved towards her listlessly, as if they don't want to listen to her, as her impression on the children was that she was not a good storyteller. In a low, confidential voice, interrupted at frequent interrupts by loud, petulant questioning from her listeners, she began. So she began after answering so many questions from the listeners. Listeners are known, but the three children. Unenterprising and deplorably uninteresting story about a little girl who was good. So she started a story, uninteresting story about a girl who was good and made friends with everyone on account of her goodness, and was finally saved from a mad bull by a number of rescuers who admired her moral character. So she tells a story. The aunt tells a story to these three children. That story is like this. The girl, in that story, there is a girl, and she was good, and she had so many friends, and she is so good that one day one bull attacked her. Okay, one bull attacked her, but she was saved by so many admirers of her, and she was rescued by so many people because they admired her good qualities, they admired her moral character. So according to this story, people rescue other people help others only when you have good qualities. Okay, according to the aunt story. Now the question is next, wouldn't they have saved her if she had not been good? The question of the children is, wouldn't they have saved her? Would they not save her if she does not have good qualities? The question by the smaller, bigger girl demanded the bigger of the small girls. It was exactly the question that the bachelor had wanted to ask. The same question was running in bachelor's mind also. Why only save the good persons? Why not those who are in all danger, why we should look into the good qualities and bad qualities. It is our duty to save each and everyone who is in danger. So this is the mindset of a story. The stories most of the time tells about the moral, good morals. So according to the good morals, they don't say if you are good, people will help you. So they don't say it is not that you are good or bad. It is our duty to help others. Well, yes, admitted the aunt lamely, but I don't think they would have run quite so fast to her help if they had not liked her so much. So what excuse she gives, what explanation aunt gives is, yes, but they would not have run so fast to rescue her unless they knew that she is of a good nature, good moral character. It is the stupidest story I have ever heard, said the bigger of the small girl with immense conviction. She said, the elder one said, I don't like the story, it is the stupidest of stories. I didn't listen after the first bit, it was so stupid, said Cyril. The boy said, I didn't listen only. The smaller girl made no actual comment on the story, but she had long ago recommenced a murmured repetition of her favorite line. So Cyril was not listening, the boy was not listening. Only the girl had listened it, but she didn't like it. She said that the story was the stupidest she had ever heard. So you don't seem to be success as a storyteller, said the bachelor suddenly from his corner. So the bachelor, after listening to all these things, said, you don't seem to be a good storyteller. He said, you don't seem to be a good storyteller, said the bachelor suddenly from the corner. So for today, this much is enough. From 21 to the end, I will make two more videos of this and send it to you. Read the poem, read the lesson, and just identify the difficult words. Try to search in your dictionary, because if you search, you will learn more. I hope you are doing whatever I have said. Learn the lesson till I have done 5 times and watch the video 3 times. Take care. Namaste.